Hi, this is Lucia with The Art of Love. Today I want to talk about whether time will make your ex forget you or miss you. This is the main reason that people are afraid to do no contact. They think that their ex will forget about them, and so they feel that they need to keep in touch. Well, there's different reasons why your ex will not forget you and will not miss you. In terms of forgetting you, there are many reasons. The first one is something called an open loop, but I'm going to talk about that later. I'm actually going to first discuss why your ex will miss you. There is a psychological phenomenon called a faded affect bias, also known as FAB. And that is where information regarding negative emotions tends to be forgotten more quickly than that associated with pleasant emotions. And there's been some contradictory findings regarding the presence of FAB, faded affect bias, but it has largely been found to be real. And apparently it starts happening within 12 hours. So in plain language, what I just said was that your ex is going to forget the bad times, the bad emotions associated with you as time goes by. And remember the good times. Obviously, in the beginning, when they've just broken up with you, they're thinking more of the bad emotions, the bad times. That's why they broke up with you. That's what they're focused on. And that's what's happening in the beginning. But apparently, within 12 hours, they will start to think of the good times. And when they think of the good times, what happens? That's right, they miss you. That's why you want to do no contact. You don't want to contact them because you need to give them time to think about you and think about the things they miss. Because think about it. When do you value your health the most? When you're healthy? No. When you're sick and you don't have your health and you think, when I get healthy, I'm never going to get sick again. I'm going to make sure that I'm always healthy. When do you value sleep the most? When you've slept 9 hours? No. When you've been up for 24 hours and you can't wait to get to sleep? When do you value food the most? When you've just eaten a full meal? No. When you haven't eaten all day and you're starving? When do you value life the most? When you're busy and happy, or when you've just had a brush with death and you almost lost your life? So it's the same thing with your ex. When you lose something or when you don't have it, that's when you understand what it really means to you. That's when you see how important it is in your life. So your ex has to experience life without you so that they can see what it's like. And they can see that hopefully they don't want to be without you. And so that's why they will miss you. Now, let me go back to why your ex will not forget about you. I mentioned that there's something called an open loop. And then I said I will get back to that later, right? And I bet that as I was talking about why your ex will miss you, you were probably thinking, even if it's just in the back of your mind, what is an open loop and what does it have to do with my ex not forgetting about me, right? Some of you? Well, that's an open loop. I did that so that you would experience the effects of an open loop, meaning that there's something that you're waiting for, that's something that's unresolved, and it's in the back of your mind. This is why people want closure. Even if they don't want their ex back or they can't get their ex back, if they didn't get the kind of closure they want, they say, I just want closure. What are you closing? You're closing the open loop. Bingo. Hello. And so that's why if you don't contact them, they're going to be wondering why, and that creates an open loop for them, because when someone breaks up with you, even if they never want to see you again, if they are done, they still think that you are going to contact them at some point. And as time goes by and you don't, that creates an open loop. And the mind hates open loops. Just like if someone says to you, hey, guess what? And you go, what? And then they say, oh, nothing, forget it. Isn't the common response to say, no, what? Tell me. Why? Because they created an open loop. Look at it this way. If you're drawing a circle is round and it's enclosed, right? However, if you were to see a circle that was not closed, that was missing a piece, your mind would think, wait, there's a piece missing there. It's not quite right. Why? Because it's an open loop. It's an open circle. And so again, the mind does not want to see that. It wants to close the loop, close the circle. So this is one of the main reasons why they will not forget you. Of course, the other reason is that how are they going to forget you if you were a part of their life and there's reminders of you everywhere? Unless they threw everything out. But even if they did, they can't get you out of their mind unless they had a lobotomy. And most people don't get a lobotomy after a breakup, so that means that your ex is not going to forget you. Haha. Also, if you had routines with your ex, which you usually do when you're a couple, if you've been dating for more than a few months, then if there were TV shows you watched together when you're watching, and when he or she is watching the shows without you, they're going to notice that you're not there. If there were things that you talked about, the next time he's thinking about that topic or he's talking about that with someone, he'll remember that he used to discuss that with you, and now you're not there to discuss that with. If you used to have dinner together every night, now they're having dinner alone maybe. And so there are plenty of times during the day where you will come to mind and he or she will remember you, they won't forget you, and they will miss you. That's why it's important for you to stick to no contact, because they need to experience life without you in order for them to fully appreciate you and want you back. And so in this case, in closing, I want to quote the Rolling Stones, who said, "Time is on my side." It just takes time. No contact is not a sprint, it's a marathon. So just chill, and more often than not, you will hear from your ex. So if you would like to discuss this with me through private coaching, you can contact me at my website, theartoflove.net. If you're listening to this on iTunes, I would appreciate if you would rate and review the podcast. If you're listening on YouTube, remember to like and subscribe. And finally, remember that love inspires, empowers, uplifts, and enlightens.